What's up, everybody? Another special treat for you guys. 4 episodes in 5 days. Is that possible? Am I really doing 4 episodes in 5 days? Yeah. I mean, come on now, guys. We're rocking and rolling. There's a lot of episodes here. This has been a fun week. Lots going on in the hobby, and a lot of craziness. So we start off with our new thing. Sponsored. This episode of the Hobby with Cage is sponsored by Bleecker Trading and by My Slabs. We added a new one. Guys, go check out My Slabs. Every Friday night they have auctions. I looked this week, pretty crazy. I saw some mantles, some mantle rookies, Tom Brady autos. Every Friday auctions. That's it. Nice and quick. Now let's get into it. I've spent the last couple of episodes calling out nonsense, talking about the hobby craziness. I don't know if you guys saw my story post on Instagram, but in addition to all of the crazy stuff going on with the Star Jordans and just record prices every single day, there seems to be a new one, and me trying to fill everybody in on behind the scenes what may be happening there, and not just in that world, but it can happen in any card, in any corner of the hobby. You got Bounty Gate. We've been reporting on this in the hobby news for quite some time, right? You had all kinds of bounties all over the place. Bounties for Wemby 101, bounties for the triple auto. And if you saw my story, I bought 100 of those Olympic triple cards, the Curry, Durant, and LeBron, hoping for the 101. I thought, yeah, let's go. I got 100 chances. I think they charge less when you buy in bulk. I think if you buy 20, they charge you $8 and change. So I mean, with shipping and everything and tax, because I'm in New York, it was around $1,000 for your 100 of them. And I thought, all right, you know what? It's like gambling. Even though I come on here and I talk about gambling is bad and breaking and all this stuff, I knew going in that was going to be the gamble. I got to tell you, though, last week when I started seeing the packs that they were doing, because, I think Topps didn't have to do this. When they realized they sold 588,000 base cards and people were going to be just getting a lot of base cards, they added in, we're going to be putting in, short prints. There were short print cracked ice. There were numbered cards. And when people get those short prints, they put them in packs. It's an actual pack, like any other pack. And it says right on the outside of the pack that pack contains either the 1 of 1 or a short print, cracked ice, numbered card, something like that. And this has now generated a significant secondary market for those. I reported in the news one sold for $2,500. I'm seeing eBay prices like $5,000 for the pack. Now, most of the time, you're going to get a card numbered out of 199 or whatever it is, and it's not going to be worth anywhere near that. But people are taking the chance on that 1 of 1 auto. And when I saw that posted before mine was even shipped, I said, you know what? I bought 100 of these. I got to get one of these packs. And what would I do if the pack came? And I've actually had this conversation with a bunch of people over DMs because of my post. I got the box. I opened it up, and there were 2 cases of base cards, little plastic cases of base cards. And I'm like, all right, well, the base cards. And then this. And I'm like, yeah, I got a pack. Now I got to have a conversation with my son about whether or not we're going to open the pack or we're going to sell the pack. And I can make back the whole $1,000. I really thought, wow, I'm smart. I bought 100 of these. That's going to give me a really good chance of getting one of these packs. And when I saw what they were selling for, I'm like, there we go. I'm not, talk about a good gamble. Thank you, Topps, for adding some value to it, putting, these packs in there and creating this secondary market. Anyway, long story short, I opened up this and it was just more base cards. There was no pack in there, no pack for me. The thing is, I think I probably would have had to open the pack with my son anyway, because we got one of those Travis Scott boxes and we resold it. And I think we sold it too cheap and he wanted to open it. You might as well. I bought the whole thing as a gamble. You might as well keep the gamble going. I bought this not to resell, I bought it to take the gamble as trying to get the 1 of 1. If you got the pack, you have a chance to get the 1 of 1. So I think I probably would have opened it. I've talked to a lot of people. I don't know. I mean, you're talking a couple $1,000s now for what is not a very good chance. I'm wondering in the comments, what would you do if you happened to buy in and you got the tops now and you opened it up and there was a pack in there that had a chance for one of one triple auto that's got a bounty on it, 500,000, $1 million, where who knows what it's going to actually go for. What would you do? Would you resell that pack for a couple $1,000 or would you open it? Let me know in the comments. Some fun stuff. We got all this crap going on. We got all that fun stuff going on. We got star stuff. I wanted to come on here today and talk about the Topps Chrome releases that have come out and take it from two ways, right? We're talking about the unlicensed, non-licensed. I'm sure Fanatics doesn't love me saying non-licensed, but they are not licensed products, man. It is what it is. The basketball. Guys, while I say often, Instagram, Twitter, the Hobby Metaverse is not the real world, it is still informative. Take a look. There's a lot of that stuff out there. There's a lot of Wemby stuff out there. Oh, before I forget, I'm going to have to give credit to Army ATC on this. I complained because I got 100 base cards. And he messaged me and said, were they all base? In addition to the short prints in the pack, there are short prints on the cards themselves on the logo. See how this says Topps Now? On every one of the base cards, it has a Topps Now on it. And red appears to be the base, but there's also a white and a blue parallel. The red here in Topps is either white or blue, according to Army. I went and looked in my stack of 100, and 4 of them were white instead of red. I didn't get a blue. So maybe blue is the shortest of short print of logo. I don't know if there's a difference of these things, but if you happen to be somebody like me who's getting in a bulk lot of these and saying, wow, what am I going to do with these base cards? Don't just throw them all on eBay as if they're all the same. Take a look at that logo. Anyway, I wanted to mention that because it was a cool little add-on that I don't know everybody knows about. I did not know about it. And now you guys know about it. Woo-hoo! So let's talk about the Topps Chrome stuff. The Wembys. There's a lot of Wemby out there. And the auto is one thing, right? Because it is a Wemby auto. There are plenty of Wemby autos being pulled. But I'm going to talk about the Wemby non-auto. I mean, unless I'm wrong here, and you guys tell me I'm wrong, put it in the comments, do what you got to do. But why would you want to have that over a fully licensed Panini card? I get the auto. Let's talk about the auto separate, right? But if you're talking about having like a Panini Prism or a Topps Chrome, Panini Prism licensed rookie, Topps Chrome not licensed, which one are you going to go for? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's pretty straightforward. Do you tell me? I mean, you guys tell me. I may be seeing it completely wrong. And it's cool, right? A Topps Chrome Gold. I mean, it's got some weight to it. It's got some history, but so does Prism. If you are telling me for the long term, not auto, take that out, not auto, I get to hold a Wemby refractor unlicensed from Topps Chrome in one hand and keep it, or a Prism Silver that's fully licensed. To me, it's not even a decision. That's got to be the Prism. You tell me if I'm wrong. Now, that is where I'm going to crap on the stuff ends. Seriously. Because I want to take this back. I've done a couple of episodes where people are like, oh, keep telling the truth. Tell the truth. Yeah, tell the truth. And that's great. I'm going to tell the truth. I'll call it as I see it. You name it. But I do want to make sure that people understand this is a hobby that we're all drawn to because it's supposed to be fun. Let me say it again. This is supposed to be an escape from the garbage that's going on in our regular lives. I don't want to watch politics. I want to watch sports card content. Right? I don't want to deal with my job and the stresses of that, but I have to. When I'm done with that, I want to unwind with a hobby that I enjoy. This, sports cards, something I've been doing since the 80s. Many, many decades ago. Something that I enjoy doing with my son. And for those of you who are new here because you've seen some of the recent episodes, the Star Jordan stuff, and you're like, hey, let me check out this guy's stuff. Great. One of the things you should know about me is I have a son. He's 11 years old. And one of the fun things that I've had to navigate with this hobby is I think a lot of us are drawn to this because we're gamblers. I think a lot of us are drawn to this hobby because we have a gambling gene. I know it's in my blood. I know my father was a gambler. I know I like to gamble. And with the way the hobby is now, part of what I struggle with is I want to bring my son into the space, but I don't want it just be gambling. I do not want it to just be straight money. I want him to have some love for it. I want him to enjoy the cards. I want him to, to maybe collect someone that he likes. Nothing wrong with taking a chance at hitting a big card. Everybody likes that. That is part of the fun also, right? But I've seen week over week, because we open stuff every Friday, week over week over week over week, we spend more and more money and get less and less in return. And it's almost deflating. It's almost depressing. It's like watching a gambler lose. And that's it. I mean, it's like, all right, well, we're going to buy a $200 box and we got $50 worth out of it or $20 worth out of it. You buy the $200 box. Oh, come on. We got to hit that one of one Wemby. Let's go. Let me tell you guys. There are paths in this space to navigate this. It's not easy, but when I find one, I want to let you guys know about it. And it's not just for father and sons. It could be for anyone. It could be anybody listening to this who doesn't have a budget like the Exquisite Bros or the 90s PMG guys who post those cards that we all want to have but maybe can't afford. So Topps made a football product called Composite. And one of the things that I said when Topps announced they were going to be making football and they were going to be making the basketball stuff and it wasn't going to be licensed yet, they don't have the full license yet, I said, it depends on what the price point is. And if they find a way to make it so that kids can open it and buy it and have some fun with it, I'm all for it, right? I know it's not fully licensed, but who cares? The fully licensed stuff, you don't get value back for the most part anyway in what you're buying. I said, you know what? If it's priced like Bowman University, let's go. I loved opening that stuff with my son. I did because we weren't getting hurt with the price. So anyway, I was doing some work around the house. I went to Ace Hardware. And I'm checking out, and behind the counter, there are cards, which is another sign of the apocalypse. It's sort of like the last time that happened when I go into 7-Eleven, there's baseball cards and Pokemon cards at the register. Last time was like that was the 90s. And it all came down pretty quickly after that. The cards were everywhere, and then cards were not, right? But anyway, they had boxes back there. And I looked, and, some of them I've seen many times. They were packed, score, the stuff you see at Walgreens. But then I saw the Topps football composite at Ace. And no, it wasn't a hobby box. It was sort of like a hanger box. It was 20 cards with certain retail parallel cards, whatever it is. And they were $19.99, a buck card. Now, I've since looked this up. Like, is this something at every Ace? And I've seen videos of people using coupons at Ace. Like, you can get 20, 30% off at Ace. You get them on email. And you can go in and wind up buying these things for $15, maybe even less. But even at $20, I said, you know what? This is going to be what I open this week with my son. And we bought 3 boxes of that, $60. Okay? As part of a hardware store purchase and run. Because at $60, we're going to have some fun opening it. We have a chance of getting something huge. Sure, maybe we get a Stroud auto in there. Right? Who knows? Unlikely, but we're in it. We're taking our chance. We're having fun. And you know what? It's another Friday open. And I like the composite product. I'm not being paid by Topps or Fanatics or anybody to do this, because it allowed me to explain to my son who Jim McMahon was. Now, people look at this and say, "No, this is silly. This is ugly. It doesn't even have the Bears on it." I get it. And this is a gold wave or something out of 50. This was the only number card we got. But I got to tell him about Jim McMahon and his headbands and the 85 Bears and the defense and Walter Perry and and Walter Payton, and the fridge, and the battles that McMahon had with his with the commissioner, wearing his headbands. And look, that's Barry Sanders, little art card, cool stuff. We pulled them out, and Ian, my son, was like, "Look, that's a cool looking Peyton Manning card." Yeah, you don't see the Colts, but they did a decent job with that one. Head on. The Brady one is kind of silly, but we pulled a couple of Brady cards, and also, I pulled this one here, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty awesome looking." And we went and we looked up the old years of Chrome, and there were some Randy Moss cards which he likes, and we talked about potentially, making a Randy Moss PC because he likes that and he thinks of himself as a receiver. And yeah, this was his favorite card. Now, it doesn't say the Colts on it, but there's Anthony Richardson, Midnight, really cool looking, thick stock card. And he got another Richardson, and this is a cool voltaic insert of Stroud again, with the him looking at the camera so that you can't really tell that you're missing the logos. Another Stroud, just the Topps Chrome base. This is a cool looking, Bryce Young. I don't love the shots where they turn to the side and you can really pretty obviously see that there's no but look, more rookie cards, more stuff, more fun. We enjoyed opening it. And when we were finished opening the first box that had Stroud and AR in it, he's like, "I like these. These are cool." Now, the vast majority of the cards in it, we're probably going to throw out. I mean, it's just, I'm being as honest with you as I can. I don't need the paper cards of offensive linemen from back in the day. Even the John Elway stuff, probably not going to keep. As great as he was, a Hall of Famer, it just clutters my basement. But we had some fun, and it was a $20 rip. So go take a look. You might see them in your local hardware store. And if that composite, I haven't heard of a big Chase bounty in it. And this is an episode for another day about bounties. And, are they good? Are they bad? But think about it. Sometimes the bounties raise the price of things that are only there because of the bounty. And maybe the Wemby 1-of-1s and the bounties for them were the reason why that unlicensed basketball Chrome shot up to 3 times the price of what it probably should be or otherwise would be at retail. There is no 1-of-1 Brady hunt here for this composite football, and maybe that is allowing the prices to stay down. And maybe if that Topps Chrome basketball comes down in price, it's more accessible and people won't, hate on it as much because they're not paying so much to get so little. There is a balance there. There's a little bit of fun there. And I just wanted to come on here and say, yeah, the hobby is amazing. There are always stories. There are always news. There's always something going on, some record sale, some shenanigans, and the hobby kind of lives in the middle. But every once in a while, I want you to take a second and think about what the hobby is for you. What is it that brought you here? What is it that keeps you here? What is it that makes you want to stay here? And then focus on that a little more than the other nonsense and craziness that's out there. For me, it was a joy of opening cards and completing sets as a kid and trying to capture some of that fun and excitement with my own son now. And so I want you to find what is fun for you. Because for me, what's fun and what brings me to the hobby and will keep me here is trying to have that fun with my son. And I want to tell you guys about the stories that are positive. And for whatever reason, this week, the $19 box of Topps composite football, that got a smile from the kid. I like this product. This was fun. And if $20 can get that reaction, put a hell of a smile on my face. It's fun to be grounded and remind ourselves that it doesn't necessarily take $1,000 box of Prism or National Treasures, or even this new Topps Chrome that's selling for so much money, to have fun in the hobby, to get back to the roots of it, to get back to what it is that you're doing. It doesn't have to be a $19 box for you. Maybe you collected somebody, in the 90s that people don't collect now. I know there's a lot of people who collect Eddie Jones. There's people who collect, random basketball, football guys. I mean, maybe start a little side PC that's not going to cost you a lot of money, but gets you happy. Get back to your roots. Don't always get bogged down in all the drama and stuff like that. And I'll continue to try to mix in an episode like this with all of the Star Jordan 101 craziness. And that's all I got for you today. Another 20 minutes. The hobby's the best, guys. We got the best hobby in the world. And, we can't lose sight of that. And, I'll end it with, remember, guys, this episode, if you enjoyed it, please, comment. Make sure you subscribe. That would be awesome. I don't really ever ask for subscribers, but, I guess it matters. Follow me on Instagram, Cage Lawyer. I appreciate all the comments. I try to respond to every single comment on YouTube. So, if you think of something about this episode, good or bad, please, throw a comment in there. I usually ask during the episode, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. I will 100% have a conversation with you about it. You can DM me. This is fun stuff. And this episode brought to you free. You don't have to pay for anything, by Bleecker Trading and My Slabs. Bleecker Trading is going to have coming up September 14th is Hobby Rip Night for Tops. That'll be fun. Who knows? Maybe they'll have an athlete there. And My Slabs every Friday. So you're probably listening to this on Friday. Every Friday, there is weekly auctions. And take a look. I looked at their auctions. I'm now high bidder on a few after looking at it yesterday. I posted about it. You can see, on my page, you can see, what's there. And that's it. 2 sponsors of the show presently, Bleecker Trading and My Slabs. So give them a look. Talk to you guys soon. Take care, everybody.